Work's over. And now it's time to go off the clock. Your favorite destination for the hottest sports topics, fantasy insight, betting lines, and game predictions. Sit back, kick off your shoes. You can even crack a cold one. And enjoy the show. Now, here are your hosts, Tyler, Jake, and Rob.
Yo, what's up?
Yo, Tigre, how we doing today, bro?
Hung the fuck over.
Well,
World Series champs, though, baby.
Yeah, let's get it. Both rocking the caps. We had to.
Man, yeah, I'm not feeling too hot, which is probably like the third or fourth weekend in a row I've said this. But,
pretty standard, though. I mean, fuck. You know what I mean? Definitely gonna.
At least we gained an hour. We gained an hour today. But yeah,
just got the text that my Wingstop's being delivered in 30 minutes. It's gonna be a great day.
There you go. Man, that sounds fucking good. The old lady went and got a Whataburger this morning whenever I was still asleep. Got me a taquito. And there's a honey butter biscuit in the fridge waiting for whenever she calls my name. So,
yep, that'll be waiting.
It might be right after this.
Yeah, for sure.
But yeah, you said you got into some stuff last night too.
Yeah, man. I don't know if for any of your viewers that live out here in Meyer and New Braunfels, got to go to Wurstfest last night. That was a lot of fun. For anyone that doesn't know, it's pretty much just a big German heritage festival that people drink a shit ton of beer and eat a bunch of good food and listen to music that you don't understand what they're saying.
Did they have TVs on out there?
No, not really. No,
I don't think so.
I don't think so. No, not that I can remember.
Okay.
Yeah, but good time, man. A lot of good food. Pork chops on sticks. A lot of good
some wiener schnitzel.
Wiener schnitzels. Crush some turkey legs. Some corn dogs. Some funnel cakes.
Well, for all of our viewers out there, I think me and Jake are both on the struggle bus this morning, so we're gonna make this nice and short and sweet for y'all. So yeah, what do you want to hop into? What do you want to talk about first? You want to talk about last night's game, or?
I don't know, man. I know when it's just me and you, things just flow. So didn't really have any agenda to talk about. Just kind of wanted to maybe get your take on a few games. Just all of our viewers.
Since Rob's not here, I want to clear the air here. Yeah, he obviously his prediction was wrong. What he said about the Astros pitching staff, wrong. And
what he says most of the time, wrong.
Some behind the scenes stuff in terms of the no hitter from Game 4. If you're here in the chat or if you watch this later, go ahead and drop us a comment because Rob said the no hitter was not surprising. No hitter, not surprising.
Rob said for a team that hits a lot of home runs, it's not surprising that they didn't get a hit because they're just a home run hitting team. But to my knowledge, if you can hit bombs, you can get singles, doubles, and triples as well.
Well, let's talk about fucking bombs. 450 over the batter's eye. Go ahead, home run. The bar that I was at was just going ape shit crazy. We were jumping around, high-fiving everybody. It was a good time, and they added on that one extra run, and then from there it's pretty much like I feel like everybody knew what was coming, but you got to see it to believe it in baseball. Yeah. And that bullpen and the not so good pitching staff, according to Rob, shut it down again. Astros in 6. My prediction was right, Rob. Yours was wrong.
Yep, that would have been. I wonder what the odds on that would have been. Did we got predicted right? Probably. If the Astros are minus 200 to win the series, but to get it spot on in the game, I would say at least plus 200-300 at least or something like that.
I don't think it'd be that much. If you could prop it where you have to pick the winners of each game.
What would you have say if you would have before the series started? If you would have picked the Astros to win in 5, I mean maybe not 300. You think maybe plus 150, 175?
In 5, I bet 220.
220. Okay.
Because I mean, 5 games is a short series, you know.
That's for sure. Or no, it happened in 6. I'm tripping.
But yeah, if it was in 6, I bet you the odds were like plus 175, maybe
Yeah.
200. I don't know. It's probably lower than that actually. Probably 175, 150.
Yeah.
But
I don't bet anymore, T Gray, but I got some lines up. Just kind of see how me and you can do today. Let's pick some winners.
alrighty, let's back up the truck.
Let's
Let me
back
pull
up
up
the
my
crank.
lines too. Yeah. I was I was thinking, if I know we were kind of just going or being nonchalant today, but my dog of the day, I think today is the fucking Washington Commanders.
Do you?
I think so. I mean, all
I'm
these other
actually.
games, dude, a lot of them have small lines besides Bills Jets. And
What about your Titans plus 13.5 against the Chiefs?
that's a huge line. I'm actually very surprised. I think they're going to cover.
I think so
But
too.
I mean, we'll see. I think this is, like I said on our weekly show, I think this is going to be a really good test for that Titans team.
Yeah.
And if I had to guess, Kansas City's going to come out. They're going to try. Now, will they? Who knows? They're going to try to stop Henry. And I think Tannehill, which I believe he's supposed to play, but
Yeah, it's
he's gonna have to make a few plays in this game if they want to have a chance.
just
Um,
sucks, man. They have no weapons up besides Henry. Like Traylon Burks obviously was supposed to be the next AJ Brown. I mean,
he's out still.
Rob,
They
Robert
got Rob Woods, but
Westbrook. How do you say his? I don't know how you say his last name.
Akeen or something like that.
Westbrook something. Yeah. But just I don't know, man. Let's run through these lines to you. Let's see how many we can get right. I'm gonna write them down.
Okay.
Bills and Jets. Bills are minus 10.5. I'm gonna say Bills cover. What about you?
Dude, there's so many fucking points.
You gonna go Jets plus 10.5?
If it was 10, dude, I'd pick the Bills, but that fucking half point is, I mean, that's why they're so good at setting these lines.
Yeah.
If I'm betting on it, I would take the Bills, but that'd be a game I'd likely want to stay away in
Yeah.
reality. But give me let's take the Bills.
Dolphins Bears. Dolphins minus 4.
I think the
Chiefs.
Dolphins cover.
Yeah, I agree. We're both on
I
Dolphins.
think it's going to be a high scoring game.
Do you? You think the
I
Bears are
do.
going to come out, start hitting?
Man, the past couple of weeks, I mean, if you look at Justin Fields, he's not doing anything crazy in terms of throwing the ball, but their offense is moving it and they're scoring some points.
Yeah.
And I think
I
they're
think
going to
Claypool will
have
be a lot
to.
better than people think, though. I feel like
You think what?
Claypool is actually is going to make a difference. Like he's going to be a dude that gets probably at least 5 to 7 catches a game, probably 8 to 9 targets. I feel like.
You
I
think
mean,
he's going to play a lot today? His first game?
he's only projected 8 points, so that has to say something.
I mean, I bet you he plays like 30-40% of snaps this week. He doesn't
Yeah.
know the playbook yet. But
Yeah.
I will
Sure.
say the plays that he's in are probably, I bet you they give him like a little jet sweep type thing or little quick handoff, jet motion. I bet you they just throw it up to him once or twice as well. And I mean, you tell him in the huddle, hey, run a go route.
Yeah.
And
He's projected 8 points in fantasy. What's that like? Maybe what do you think? Maybe 3 catches for 50 yards, 4 catches for 40.
I mean, that's what the projections are saying. But if I had to guess his stat line, I bet you it's 2 catches, 23 yards, 1 carry for like 11 yards, something like that.
Write that down for all of our viewers. You said 2 for 23,
23,
1 carry for what?
11.
11. I like it. I like it.
He gets a little first down. He beats the sticks and runs out of bounds or something. We'll see, though. I mean,
And then holds the ball for 30 seconds.
I'll be surprised if he plays a whole lot of snaps. But all right, what's next? What do you got for me?
Vikings minus 3.5. Commanders plus 3.5. Wasn't Commanders your dog?
I mean, yeah, I said the Commanders are my dog, but and that's betting money line. I'm betting money line Commanders, if because for our dogs, essentially, we've always said the dogs are going to actually win the game, not just cover.
Yeah.
So if I'm betting, I'd take Commanders and money line. But if I'm betting on the spread, I'd probably take Vikings.
What the fuck?
I, I mean,
I'm a-
yeah, that obviously contradicts themselves, but
It kind of does, because if you like a money line, you for sure like them plus 3.5.
Well, yeah, but I guess what I'm trying to say is if I'm picking a dog of the week, that's who I'd pick. Because in reality, like how often are we betting on these dogs? You know,
Yeah.
so it's one of those things. Like if I had to bet on a dog, that's the dog I would take in the race. But I'm not at
Commanders
the fucking
are,
horse track.
if you on DraftKings, if you took Commanders plus 3.5, it's minus 120, and if you took the Vikings minus 3.5, it's plus 100. So obviously it's juicier. Vegas thinks more highly on the Commanders plus 3.5. But what are you picking? Vikings or Commanders 3.5?
I mean, since I already picked them as my dogs, I'll just fucking take Commanders. Fuck it.
Commanders. Cool. Panthers and Bengals.
I'm seeing 3. I like that 3.5 a lot better.
You're seeing 3.
I'm seeing it, yeah, but if you got 3.5, we'll go with that.
This is just DraftKings. I'm sure multiple books have it differently.
Yeah, I mean, half a point's nothing.
But we say that. Watch them win by 3. Watch the Vikings win by 3.
I'm saying half a point difference in the lines isn't anything crazy, but like it does matter for sure.
Yeah, Panthers and Bengals. Panthers plus 7, Bengals minus 7.
Dude, this is another game, and no Jamar Chase still. The Panthers had a chance to win last game, but I think the Bengals, they have to get right here. They have to. If they lose this game, they're done. They're done if they lose this game.
Or by 4? Do you think they cover the 7?
Yeah, and the only reason being is I just don't think the Panthers, like I said, they did score some points last week and they almost won that game in Atlanta, but they're not very good, man.
Yeah.
I do think DJ Moore is going to have a really solid game though.
So okay, I got a little fantasy question then for you, T.
All right.
Should I start Deontay Foreman or DJ Moore at my flex? It's tough. No Chuba Hubbard.
I would start, and obviously this is in our league, so I would start DJ Moore personally.
Personally, you would? You don't like Foreman getting all the carries?
I like Foreman, yes, but I think DJ Moore, in PPR format, ever since they made that quarterback switch, he's been hitting, and I could see Foreman having like a 13 for 45-yard day or something like shitty like that. I think the Bengals are they're not gonna allow them to try to run the ball.
Yeah. Well, I didn't listen to you last time whenever I asked you about Isaiah McKenzie or Deion Jackson. I started McKenzie and he had 2 points. I think that was the game Jackson went for like 28. So I'm going to take your recommendation this week and I'm going to start. Actually, I'll switch it out right
now. Look, if Foreman outscores Moore, I'm not going to be super surprised, but I think Moore puts up at least 10 points. And I think Foreman's like bust percentage, so to speak, is a lot higher than Moore's. Moore's not busting.
Moore's numbers, his stat line, I forgot what it was. I saw it on Twitter this morning. Just like when PJ Walker's his guy, he's getting double-digit targets every single game. So
yeah, that's why I'm saying this. I think, like I said, he's not. He's gonna score 10 points. I think.
All right, you're on Bengals. I'm on Panthers. Packers Lions. Packers are -4 against the Lions. I like that.
Yeah, I'm gonna take the Pack, but man, it's funny to me. You got the World Series on Fox, and during the commercials, they're advertising Packers Cowboys so often. That's not even until next week. It's crazy how much real estate the Cowboys have in terms of the media. But I would be lying if I was saying I wish the Packers were playing someone else this week, because this could be a week where they actually get right.
Yeah.
And then they come in, or they're at home against the Cowboys next week coming off a bye, which, I mean, the Cowboys have, an extra week to prepare, obviously. But, I mean, bye weeks in the NFL, they can go one or two ways, It's not a guarantee that they're going to be more prepared. They still got to go play the game. They might be a little rusty. I think it was much needed for everybody on the team except for Dak. Dak finally got into a rhythm after his injury, and now he's having to sit out a week. But we'll see next week. We'll talk about that then. But yeah, give me Pack -4.
Chargers and Falcons. Chargers -2.5. Falcons +2.5. No Mike Williams. No Keenan Allen.
It's in Atlanta too, right?
It is in Atlanta.
Man, give me the Falcons, dude.
Oh man,
The the Chargers, like you mentioned, they're minus a lot of their weapons. Yeah, they still have Eckler. I look for him to have a big day in fantasy, per
is Patterson
usual.
back? Tigre?
Patterson's back.
You're back.
Um, Matter of fact, I'm gonna need to check my lineups here in just a minute. Um,
Patterson is back.
I just I have Patterson in 2 leagues, and one of them's a 14 team. I'll just give you the scenario. So I got you know what? Let me pull it up on the. Oh, excuse me. Let me pull it up for you.
I like the Chargers in this game. I'm not trying to pick all the favorites, but I think Eckler has a big day. I think Josh Palmer steps up.
All right, here we go.
What are we looking at?
14-man league, half PPR. This is my squad. I got Patterson in here right now.
Did you go Diggs in the second round?
So this is actually a keeper league.
I don't know.
So the way it's pretty cool. So the way it works is the rules, at least in this one, everyone's a little bit different. You get to keep up to 2 players each year. They can't be a quarterback, and you had to have drafted them the year before. So what I did this year is I kept Dalvin Cook in the first round because I had the 14th pick.
Yeah, that's a solid. That's a
So
steal.
well, get this. One of the guys in the league, let's see, Ice Cream Kush, he got to keep Cooper Kupp in the 3rd round and Jamar
wow.
Chase in the 5th round.
That's disgusting.
But yeah, so you can't pick quarterbacks. So draft picks are tradable because it's like, year to year keepers, et cetera, et cetera. So what I did is I actually made a trade before the draft, and I traded my 2nd round pick. You know what? Let me see if I can. Where's my? You know what?
So keeper leagues, essentially, you get to keep one person or what?
They're all different. They're all different. In this league, like I said, you get to keep up to 2 players. You don't have to keep anybody though if you don't want to. But I forgot the exact trade, but I traded my 2nd round pick, so it was like 2nd round first pick. So I had the last pick in the 1st round, and I think I gave up my 8th round pick and got this guy's 1st round 12th pick. Is actually Chance. So I got his round 1 pick, which was the 12th pick, and his 10th round pick. So he moved up, or he essentially traded his 8th round pick his 10th round pick for my 8th round pick, and we swapped my 2.1 for his 1.12. So I moved up essentially 3 spots, and that's where I drafted Diggs, was 1.12. Nice. But yeah, I know that's a little confusing, but
yeah, no big deal. I just got an update on my Wingstop. My wings are about to be here. Let's run through these lines. Let's watch them. I know our viewers want to.
Oh, I want to show you the reason why I pulled this up. Do I start Patterson here?
Start Patterson instead of who?
So I got Algier, obviously the other Falcons running back, or Dubs, or Pacheco.
No, not Pacheco. He hasn't proven.
I can move Deion Jackson in for Patterson and then put Dubs in my flex.
I like Patterson. I like Jackson and Patterson. I think Patterson's going to be involved.
Big time. I think so too.
Obviously, they like Algier, but I mean, they know who the guy is. You know what I mean?
No, I agree. Alrighty. Yeah, sorry. Let's
No, man. That's obviously our viewers like. I'm sure they play fantasy as well. So get in a little bit of who to start, who not to. But yeah, let's wrap this up. So we got Falcons, Tigre, Colts, or Patriots. On ESPN said 5, but I'm getting 4.5 on DraftKings. Colts are plus 4.5.
You got Ellinger playing. Man, that's a tough one, dude. I think I'm taking the Patriots at home.
I'm with you.
So you're with me?
I'm with you.
I just no JT. I mean, they got Pittman, who I think's nice, but he's one of those like he's the number one, but you'd rather have him as your number two type of thing. I feel
Sure,
like
you're not ecstatic if he's your wide
like
receiver.
he'd be awesome if he was in LA, the Chargers. Like if he
Yeah.
was 1A and 1B to either Mike Williams or Keenan Allen, if you just
Well, there's
replaced
just
the two,
nobody
you
else
know?
on that team to take away pressure, like in the receiving. You know what I mean? Like
Yeah.
the next best guy is what, Alec Pierce or Mo
Look,
Alley Cox. You know what I mean? It's like
I was very high on Alec Pierce coming out of the draft. Um, and I think he's going to be a player, but he's not, fully there yet. But
not
it all
yet.
starts up front for them. Their offensive line struggled. Their quarterback obviously was sacked so many times, turned the ball over.
Yeah.
I think this change should help them be more mobile back there. But I mean, it sucks that Taylor is having the season he's having. Probably, if anybody out there drafted him, which I actually traded for him in one of my leagues a couple weeks ago. I gave up Zeke and Mike Williams for him.
It's kind of balances each other out. You know what I mean?
But yeah, that guy was hurting on wide receiver depth. But I
You
mean,
fucked him. You didn't help him.
yeah, but I've been getting fucked too. So
Did you pick up Deion Jackson in that league?
I don't believe so.
Yeah, I picked.
Um,
When I saw the news, I picked up Deion Jackson and flipped him to Rob because I got Chase Claypool for Deion Jackson. I mean, I'm obviously hoping that JT comes back next week, and I essentially flipped a waiver wire guy for a receiver that could start on most fantasy teams, or maybe at least some of them. But if JT ends up missing multiple weeks, I might be kicking myself for not keeping him and flipping him for Claypool. But
just since
I'm
we're on the top, I mean, yeah, you won that trade, no matter what, I think. But just since we're on the topic, I think I made. I mean, someone out there probably did, but this is like a very distinguished league. Like people don't fuck around. There's no like the trades are always. I don't want to say fair because that's not the right word, but like people don't fuck around. People don't just make moves to make them.
yeah,
And it's a 14
my
man
league.
league. Now this league that I'm talking about that I made a trade in right after week 2, I sent and it's a 14 man PPR. So, and you got to start 3 wide receivers as well. One flex, one tight end. Everything else is normal. But I flipped Curtis Samuel, who I picked up off of waivers after week 1 because I believe I had the last pick in that draft, so I was first on the waiver priority. I picked him up, and then next week I flipped him for Josh Jacobs. And this was after just week 2. Josh Jacobs didn't do anything, essentially. But yeah, obviously I won that trade big time.
Wow, that's insane.
But I think that's the best move I think I've made
Oh,
throughout all my leagues.
That's the best move I heard this year.
But yeah, anyways, keep them rolling. Sorry.
Yeah, no.
I know your Wingstop's about to show up.
No, I love talking fantasy. But yeah, let's run through these. We're almost done. Raiders, Jags. Let's just give our pick. Raiders, Jags. Raiders are -2.5.
I think that's fucking crazy, dude. The Jags are so unpredictable. I'm gonna take the Raiders, but the Raiders, they're not any good. I don't know.
Yeah,
That's a game I stay away from, but if I had to pick, give me the Raiders.
Seahawks and Cardinals. Cardinals are -1.5. I'm on the Cardinals.
Seahawks.
You're on the Seahawks?
Yep. The Cardinals played like shit at home for some reason. They got whipped a couple weeks ago too on the road in Seattle. They scored like 6 points.
I know everyone.
I think it's going to be a high scoring game though. I think if you have, sorry, go ahead.
Go ahead.
I was going to say if you have anybody on your fantasy team in that game, I think you got to start them. At least anybody like noteworthy. I think Tyler Lockett could be a big time flex play.
Yeah.
The thing though, the Cardinals running back situation, I think Connor's supposed to play, but that'd be the one guy that I would maybe sit.
Yeah. Yeah, it's gonna be a split. I feel
I think Rondale Moore and Hopkins are gonna have a big day each. So
Yeah, I know everyone chopped up Riley for getting Hopkins, obviously because where he was, but man, it's starting to look really good for him. I always believed in him. I mean, the dude wasn't hurt. I mean, obviously, everyone said he had a down year last year, coming off the 6 but dude, it's like he hasn't missed a beat. You know what I mean?
Yeah, I mean that trade is looking better for him, but
Yeah,
I mean I don't know. I think I don't know if Mixon would have helped him early on anyway. So
he has ETN and Pierce too, so
yeah, his team's
uh,
on the uphill climb
might
right
be
now.
might be
So
a little bit too late though, sitting at I think 2-6.
yeah, I need a big time win in your league. I'm like I think I'm like in the top 5 scoring teams or something. I'm sitting in
Yeah,
8th place.
your team scores a hell of a lot of points.
It's
Um,
bad luck,
how about
but
this one, D-Ray? Rams and Bucks. Bucks are -2.5.
I mean, 2 struggling teams who, that's the 2 latest Super Bowl winners. I think I go with the Bucks here. They're at home. Obviously the Rams beat them in Tampa Bay last season in the postseason. Um, but it's hard to bet against Tom Brady, and it's one of those things where like, how many times is he going to lose? Like, it's unprecedented what's happening now. Can it keep going against a struggling Rams offense? I will say, I mean, the Bucks lost Shaquille Barrett.
Yeah,
He's done for
and
the
their
year.
defense is really banged up. I think Winfield's back, but
I think it might be one of those like it's either going to be a high scoring shootout or it's going to be a grindy like 13-10 type of
yeah,
game.
yeah. I mean, what you said about like you can't bet against the goat. It's just like I feel like I'm this year. It's like I keep telling myself that, and it's just like,
Backfiring.
is this the year you start fading him? You know what I mean? It's like you never want to bet against him, but I'm going to bet against him this week. I'm
You're
gonna take
taking
the
the
Rams.
Rams.
Yeah, I'll take the Rams. Um, Sunday night football. Uh, this is a good
Well,
one. Titans Chiefs +13.5. I'm on Titans +13.5.
yeah, I think I agree. But in terms of our Sunday night picks, I'm going to take the Chiefs
Oh, of
to
course,
win.
of course.
But yeah, 13.5 is a lot of points. The Titans are obviously right there at the tip of my power rankings, um, or right outside the top 5. I think the Titans they're a hard nosed football team. Um, Now the thing that can't happen for them, the Chiefs can't jump out to like a 14-point lead.
Yeah,
If they do that, then they're not going to be able to run the ball as much. It's going to be a tough comeback for them. But yeah,
yeah.
give me the Titans with those points
And last but not least, are you on the
Sunday.
Ravens -2 tomorrow with me in New Orleans?
I think so. I'm seeing
Okay.
1.5, but yeah, give me Lamar and the Ravens. I think they're even though I don't think Andrews is playing. Bateman's obviously out for the year. I think you'll see Deshaun Jackson make his Baltimore debut.
Yeah.
Um, yeah, give me the Ravens though. I think the Saints. You know what? Fuck. The Saints are at home. Their defense has been playing good. It's another game I'd probably stay away, but I'll take
Let's
the
wrap this
Ravens. They
up
got
and
the best
give
player
our
on the
let's
field.
give our viewers a little cheeky little two-teamer that we'd want to back the Brinks truck on, and then we'll send this into Sunday football with what's his name on Red Zone.
Scott
Chris
Hansen.
something. Scott Hansen. When I said Chris, I don't know what Chris. I was thinking Chris Berman.
Um,
Scott
all right,
Hansen.
I got one for you. Give me Dolphins -4.
This is your two-teamer.
Yeah, Dolphins -4 and Seahawks +1.5. Or you know what? I'll do this. I'll do Dolphins -4 and Seahawks money line.
Let's do spreads.
Okay. Well then Seahawks +1.5.
I'm going to take the Raiders -2.5 against the Jags, and I'm going to take Dolphins -4 as well. Tyreek Hill needs like 113 yards to break the record through 9 games. I think they're just going to feed him. The newest, I like Jeff Wilson. I'm obviously I'm a Mostert owner, so I don't hope he gets too many touches, but I like the addition of him, Mostert, Waddle, Jasecki's starting to come around. Tua's doing his thing. So Dolphins -4 for both of us. I'm on Raiders -2.5, and you're on Seahawks +1.5. See if we make some cash. But
cool. Send in the ticket, baby.
That's it for me, my man. I'm ready to watch some football.
Well, cool. Go, man. I would drink some Wingstop Ranch right now. I'd fucking drink it out of a straw. It's so good. But enjoy your food, man.
Cool, man.
I'm gonna be on the struggle bus for a little bit, and then I'm gonna start packing up some stuff.
You got that here waiting on you.
Yeah, I do. I forgot about that. But anyways, yeah, it was good talking.
To all of our viewers out there, like we say every time, if you like our content, we're just getting started. Obviously, man, I've never done a podcast in my life. I know T-Gray has those, so we want more people to tune in. We want to relate to people. We're just two dudes that love sports. We obviously want to reach more people that enjoy sports and have people in here, and just keep doing our thing week in and week out. And we love feedback. We love if you like our content, subscribe, like, whatever you want to do, follow us, man.
Drop something down in the comments for us. But
yeah,
man, take care. Enjoy your Sunday, dude. Peace.
Yes, sir. We'll talk soon, brother. Later.
Thanks for tuning in to the Off the Clock Show. If you enjoyed what you heard, go ahead and hit that like button. If you really want to show your support, please consider subscribing. You can also follow us at our social media sites listed in the description. We will talk to you next time. Off the Clock.